Hey, welcome to another week of the White Claw Wrap Up. I'm Justin.
And I'm Elise.
And if you can take a look there, we also brought there it is, World Trade Center for you today. So let's pop it.
Cheers.
Cheers. Another good little view here for you guys. So treating you to not only another White Claw Wrap Up, but a beautiful view behind us. And taking a look at FIDI over my right shoulder, the financial district of New York City, we thought it was appropriate to talk about
Finance.
the pillar of finance. And
That was a good one.
you like that?
Yeah.
So as we go through finance, and especially within Own It, it's a pillar in what we teach through wellness, business coaching, and relationship coaching, because whether we like it or not, finance plays a big part in our lives. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh yeah. I think it plays a big part in everybody's lives. It's just about the role you let it play in your life, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. And I think that's what we're here today to talk about is...
And Dell's with us too.
Yeah, we've got Dell here. Is working on creating a positive mindset.
But it's the mindset of abundance, where there's two types of mindsets in this regard. It's abundance or scarcity. And what I mean by that is this, is so often and for me, growing up, I would see these people who were financially stable, who could provide for their family, could have a lot of different vacations a year, a lot of different experiences, have different homes, have rental properties, and do these things that I was like, man,
Seems so far out of reach.
it seems so far to reach, but they were happy too.
Right.
And it's not like they were continually chasing something. And as I grew up and as I got older, I became a lot smarter, and instead of just wondering how they did it, I actually asked questions and I learned from them and I had them as mentors. But it became that they had this abundance mindset where it was not about being irresponsible and overextending themselves, but using their money to grow wealth. Buying things that would help grow what it was that they were doing, things that appreciated. And in doing that, it was amazing to see the changes in the way that I chose to do things. And so an example is somebody said if you were to give somebody $8 to $10 million, and that's a large sum of money, and they had a scarcity mindset, they would take 80% of that and buy things that didn't appreciate. They would buy cars, they would buy, go on vacations, they would buy clothes, they would do these lavish things, throw parties. Whereas somebody with a abundance mindset would invest it. They would go and buy investment properties, they'd buy rental properties, they would do all these things.
Ultimately end up paying
Exactly.
for the lifestyle they want to have.
Exactly. And so they don't see it as that's the end goal. They see it as a stepping stone to something bigger. And that's how, honestly, that's what a lot of our coaching goes back to in all of the pillars that we have, is that one thing should lead upon the next.
There's this stigma out there that money can't buy happiness, but in fact it can to a certain extent. Yes, happiness and the mind of having a positive mindset has to come from within, but there are added values that money can buy in your life. And I think one of the interesting things is ultimately the amount of money that you have doesn't dictate the type of person that you are. The type of person that you are dictates what you do with your money, right? So, you can be an innately good person and, employ others around you to give them a better lifestyle. You can donate to charity, you can use your money for positive things, or...
So the more money you have, the more people you can help.
Exactly. Or, on the more negative side of things, it can be about just acquiring more and more and more and more for yourself. And I think in today's day and age, that is why having a lot of money is viewed in such a negative spotlight, is because it has this negative connotation that comes with it. But, there are people who we certainly know who fall into the positive spectrum of things, and, they really help other people have a life they never would have had.
And so it really comes down to financially and money makes you more of who you are at nature. If you're a good person, you're just going to have more resources to help other people. If you're a selfish person or an ass, you're going to have more money to be more selfish with and to be an ass with. And so if we take a look at this, it's really all about the mindset and how you can change your mindset of how you approach it, how you approach this topic, and go from something uncomfortable to something that is really exciting, really flourishing, and build on your knowledge. Because a lot of times financially, we want to keep it in the dark because it scares us and it's unfamiliar to us. And we don't want to learn. We don't want to educate ourselves. We just want it to just be there, like the skeleton in the closet almost. But if we were just to sit back and learn, identify where we could make some small changes, some subtle adjustments, change the mindset to more of an abundant state, it would be amazing to see the positive change that we would see financially.
What's an example of changing how can you change your mindset from a negative relationship with finance to having an abundance mindset with finance?
So the first thing you can do is by getting your finances straight, knowing what you have, budgeting, knowing what you have coming in every month and know what you have going out. And when you actually learn what you're spending your finances on, when you actually know where your money is going, you now have that added knowledge and power to make your money work for you rather than using it, like we said, in the way the majority of people use it, to buy things that don't appreciate, just to buy things for the sake of things that may not actually help you down the road or may not actually do anything for you, but rather trying to prove something to other people or to make you feel a certain way for a certain moment. And that goes back to your mindset. That goes back to learning what your finances are being used for. And the moment you get square on what's going on, the moment you have that budget, the moment you have knowledge, you've actually acquired power because you can now make change. And the moment you know what's going on, that change becomes so much easier because you have the knowledge of how to do it. And then once you have that budget set, then you go and ask a mentor. Then you go and ask somebody who's done it, somebody who's been there. And you start with one thing. You start with one focus point, whether that is saving a certain number every month, whether that's saving to acquire a certain stock, whether that's saving to acquire a rental property, whether that's saving to acquire another asset that will appreciate. But again, it goes back to having a plan. And that is what we're talking about, changing your mindset.
Yep.
So with that, I challenge you, what is the one thing that you need to do financially that can change the way you approach it so that ultimately you can go do more good in the world? You can go donate more to the church. You can go donate more to the people in need. You can go take your family on a nice vacation. You can go and help somebody else that you want to do, because innately, I know everybody watching this, I know our audience is all good people. They all have great hearts. And what we can do financially is the more we have, the more we can give. So
Cheers
with
to that.
go own it. Have a phenomenal day, and we will see you next week.